Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be going over my bookshelves. I don't think you can see all the way up to this top one, but I figured I have not done a bookshelf tour on here, and I have collected quite a few books over the past 2 years that I've been into reading. So we are just going to go through all of my books today, and this is kind of like my physical TBR, but if you do want me to film all the books that are on my physical TBR, I definitely can do that. You can comment if you would like to see that. But yeah, I think that's it for the intro. Let's just get into my bookshelf tour. This is kind of the setup that I have right now. I have 3 bookshelves. They're all kind of different sizes, but I'm gonna start off with this one for you guys. This is more of my fantasy bookshelf, and a lot of these are books that I still need to read. On this top shelf right here, I have the Shatter Me series. I can never pronounce her name, so I'm not even gonna try because I always butcher it. This is one of my favorite series ever. I just finished it this month. It is so good. If you have not read this yet, it is definitely worth the hype, and I adore it. So we have Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Unite Me, Ignite Me, Restore Me, Find Me, Defy Me, Imagine Me, and Believe Me. My favorite of the series is Unravel Me. This is the only book I gave 5 stars. There is nothing that I rated lower than a 4-star in that entire series. Next to that, I have I believe this is called The Dance of Thieves duology by, who is this by? Mary E. Pearson. And this is actually up next on my TBR. I really want to read this. I've been really in the mood for fantasy, so I'm trying to crank out a whole bunch of fantasy series while I'm in the mood. So Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves. And then I have the Folk of Air trilogy by Holly Black. This is a series I don't know if I'm ever going to read. I'm really nervous about it because I know it's way more fantasy than it is romance, but there's The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. And then next to that, I have Caraval, I don't know how to say it, by Stephanie Garber. Next, I have the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. Very excited to read this. I've heard such good things. I know Sarah, who's my favorite book YouTuber that I talk about literally all the time, is one of her favorite books. So I have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. And then next to that, I have Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Cursed. And I'm actually reading Kingdom of the Feared right now. Well, I'm about to start it. Another one of my favorite series. I love this series. If you've not read this yet, definitely recommend. And then back there, if you see those are books that I'm unhauling. So they're probably gonna go to Goodwill. They're just books that are by authors that I don't support anymore, or books that I'm just never gonna read, so. And then on the second shelf, I have the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I don't think I have all the books for this series anymore. I used to. I think there's a couple more that have come out. So I have From Blood and Ash, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and The Crown of Gilded Bones. Very excited to read this series. Although, if you can see that, they are different sizes, and it bothers me. And then I have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Ignore this. My dog chewed this book, so the corner is missing. So ignore that. That's another series that I really want to read. I only own the first book because I am waiting to buy the second and third one until the third one comes out in paperback. Then next to that, I have Blade of Secrets by, who is this by? Levenseller? I think this is the same author that writes The Daughter of the Pirate King. Next, I have the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. I only have 2 books. I need to still buy the 3rd and 4th book. So I have Neon Gods, which is one of my 5-star reads. I love this book. And then Electric Idol, I have not read yet. And then next to that, I have the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. Excuse that this one is not matching to these. I bought this one when she was still a self-published author, and then these were after she was published. So I've read Hooked. Love it. Another 5-star read for me. I adore this book and I love the series. It's definitely a dark romance fantasy, but I love it. And then next to that, I have Scarred, Wretched, and Twisted. And then next to that, I have the Priest series. I don't know what the series is called. By Sierra Simone. I'm sure you've seen this. There's Priest, Sinner, and Saint. These are the old covers. I definitely want to buy the discreet covers at some point because they're gorgeous. And these covers, I don't like them. But I love this series. Sinner is my favorite out of the series. I love it. So next up, these aren't really fantasy, but they kind of fit the vibe of the shelf, so I put them here. I have If He Had Been With Me by Nora Nolan. Words. Very excited for this book. Also, I need to be in the mood for a sad book, so I haven't read that yet. Then I have Bound by Honor by Cora Riley and Sweet Temptation by Cora Riley. I read Sweet Temptation. I thought it was okay. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. But I am excited to read this. I actually have the you'll see, but I have the bound ups of all the books, but I do have the first book by itself. And then I have the Ravenhood trilogy by Kate Stewart. I do not support this author anymore, but these books are just here. I'm deciding what I want to do with them, but I don't support this author. she's not an author, so I don't recommend these. So we're not even going to talk about them. Then I have The Dare by Harley LaRue. Then down here, I have most of my Sarah J. Maas. Actually, this is all the Sarah J. Maas I own, but this isn't all of her books. I still need to get the Crescent City series. So I have the Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I have A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and A Court of Silver Flames. Very excited to read this. So next, after the ACOTAR series, I have the entire Throne of Glass series. So I have the Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Emperor of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. I am very scared for this series just because these books are massive. Like, especially this book, it's like 1,000 pages. So I'm a little nervous for this series, even though it's young adult. I have the Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. I love this duology. It's very dark, so definitely check trigger warnings before you read it. It's a very dark series, but if you like dark romance, it's very good. This is Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline, but definitely check trigger warnings. Moving on to my big bookshelf. I love this bookshelf. This bookshelf is from Walmart, and it is amazing. It is so big. I love it. It was so cheap. It was like $35. I just have that basket up there. There's a Disney like painting in there, so that's also there. So on this top shelf here, this is my favorite series of all time, Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. I love this series. I definitely want to get the new covers at some point. I just have not spent the money to get the new covers, but I definitely want to get them at some point because I love this and I want to reread this also at some point, which is probably when I'll get the new covers. And then here I have the Bad Reputation duet, also by Kristen Becca Ritchie. This is about two characters that are in the series, so I have Whatever It Takes and Wherever You Are. And then I also have a little Mickey sitting right here. We'll move him though. Because I have the Leica series. I don't have all the books. I think I'm missing 2 or 3. And this is about the kids from this series. So that's the top shelf. Down on this shelf, I have all the books by my favorite author. We have a mini also sitting here, so I'm just going to move her over there. So this is my Lauren Asher section. Lauren Asher is my favorite author. I'm sure you all know this by now. I've said it multiple times. So I have the Dirty Air series, which is Throttled, Collided, Wrecked, and Redeemed. And next to that, I have the Dreamland Billionaire series. So I have the Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, and Final Offer. And yes, it does bug me that Final Offer does not match. And then next to that, I have the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. I actually just finished Heartless, and you'll hear me talk about it in my March reading wrap up, but oh my god, I loved it. So I have Flawless, Heartless, and Powerless. This is a small town romance. It's so good. If you have not read this series, please go read it. And then I have the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I've only read Twisted Love. I didn't love Twisted Love that much, but I am excited to read the rest of the series because I've heard such good things, especially about Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies. So this is obviously Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. So we're gonna move Minnie over here again. And then I have Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. You guys know I love that book. The Summer I Turned Pretty, I just have the first one. Then I have Room Hate by Penelope Ward, and that's Room Hate, I have the Element series by Brittany C. Cherry. So that's The Air He Breathes, The Fire Between High and Low, The Silent Waters, and The Gravity Bus. And I actually just talked about this in my book recommendation tags. The third shelf, I have my little kind of sports section right here, but I'm missing a couple sports romances, but I have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Very excited to read that book at some point. I have this series by Helena Hunting, which I never know what it's called, but it's A Lie for a Lie, A Favor for a Favor, A Secret for a Secret, and A Kiss for a Kiss. And then I have the Off Campus series and the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy. That was one of the first series I read to get back in reading, which is why it's still on my shelf. I have not read them in a very long time, but the deal is what basically got me back into reading, so it holds a special place in my heart. And then next to that, I have, what is this? The Boys of Toman series by Chloe Walsh. I have not read this yet. Very excited to read it though. So there's Binding 13, Keeping 13, and Saving 6. I've heard amazing things about this series, so I'm very excited to read this as well. Next to that, I have all my MZ books. So I have Culty, Luna and the Lie, and From Lukov with Love. I have not read any of these. I have read Mariana Zapata books, just not the ones here. Definitely want to read these at some point though, some point soon. And then I have all my Tessa Bailey books. So I have Fix Her Up, Love Her, Loser, Tools of Engagement, and then I have It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. Then on this next shelf, I just have some hardcovers. I wish I actually had this one in paperback, but I have The Heart Principle, The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I love People We Meet on Vacation. I know that might be kind of unpopular because some people don't really like that, but I loved it. And then here, this is just a random stack that I just I needed to put it there to have more space on my shelf. So I have The Roommate by Rosie Danan, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I did not enjoy that book at all. I DNF'd this book, actually. The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne, How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams, Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. Very excited to read this one. The Layover by Lacey Walden, Lyrics of a Small Town by Abby Glines. She actually sent me this book, and I still need to read it. I have not got around to it yet, but I'm very excited for that. My queen, my second favorite author of all time, Liz Tomford. I have Mile High, The Right Move, and The Right Move. I just finished this like a few days ago. This book is everything. I love Mile High too. Oh my God. I cannot wait for the third book in the series because Liz Tomford is slowly becoming my favorite author. I mean, Lauren Asher's still my fave, but Liz Tomford is almost tied with her because her books are incredible. If you have not read them, you need to read them. And then I have Golden Girl by Ellen Hilderbrand. I have not read any Ellen Hilderbrand. I want to get into it though. And then I have The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which I love Lynn Painter. And then I also have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. I've read these both and I adore them. X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. If you ask me, For Strangers, All the Right Places, Good Girl Complex, In a Jam, which you'll hear about this in my reading wrap up because I have a lot to say. The Flat Share, and then I have the Eden series by Denby Perry. I'm very excited to read this. And on this very bottom shelf, I have my Lucy Score books. So I have Things We Never Got Over, Things We Had From the Light, and By a Thread. I've read Things We Never Got Over and Things We Had From the Light. I have not read By a Thread yet. Then I have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, a random Tessa Bailey book that didn't fit up there that I still need to read. I have Magnolia Parks, which you guys know my feelings on Magnolia Parks. Dear Enemy by Kristen Callahan, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Yes, and I Love You. I have I forget what the series is called, by Christina Lauren. I still need to read that. I've only read the first book. Another Christina Lauren book, that's Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I have The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. You guys know I love this book. I have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle, and then I have just my little Penelope Ward section. So Dirty Letters, The Crush, Not Pretending Anymore, and Happily Letter After. Another random book by Jennifer L. Armentrout that I probably am never going to read because it's just been sitting there for like 3 years. Serenade Heartbreak, and then I have the Full Tilt Duet by Emma Scott, which is actually out of order. All right, and then this is my last shelf here. So I'm going to start on the bottom and go up. So down here, I just have, like I was saying, the Born in Blood Chronicles by Cora Riley. Those are just the bound-ups of both. And then I have Every Last Word and The Housemaid. And then I have the Mile High series by T.L. Swan, which is another one of my favorite series. I never talk about it that much, but I do really, really like it. And then over here, I just have a whole bunch of thriller books. You guys know how I feel about The Silent Patient. But this is just most of my thrillers, if not all of them are right there. These are my Colleen Hoover books, which I used to be, when I first got into reading like 2 years ago, I used to absolutely adore Colleen Hoover. I don't anymore. So she's just kind of over here. I just don't agree with a lot of the things she writes in her books anymore. And I have learned and educated myself, and I'm not really a fan of her books anymore, but they're here. And then I have the first book in the Zodiac Academy series, which I do want to read, but it's just such a big series. And then I don't even know who writes this book. This is a random book. I think I got sent when I first started reading. And then I have just a couple more thrillers over here. And then up on this top shelf, this is just basically a whole mix of things. I have 2 dark romances over here, so Den of Vipers and Dark Notes. And then I have all my Penelope Douglas books, which I've read all of them except for Credence. I don't know, Normal People, which I hate this book. I have The Song of Achilles. I have my Taylor and Jenkins Reid books right here, 2 of them. I think the other one's in my room. And yeah, that's just, I don't even know what else is here. Some of these are books that have been sent by Valentine PR. They kind of all go up here so I know to read them. I'm actually really excited for this one. I got sent this one by Valentine PR and I'm very excited about it. I want to read it very soon, actually. Last but not least, I have my floating bookshelves in my room that are all color coordinated. I love them. These are literally my favorite section of books ever. I think they just look so cute. So over here, I have my blue stack, and I love the blue stack. I think it's so cute. So I have Actor Age Eve Brown, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, which I love better than the movies. My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren, Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, one of my favorite books of all time. I love that book. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, American Roommate Experiment, Beach Read by Emily Henry, which I still need to read. I'm so behind. And then I have Today, Tonight, and Tomorrow, and Outrageous. And then I'm gonna do the orange stack just because it's at the same height as the blue. So I have Daisy Jones and the Six, which I need to read because the TV show just came out. The Dead Romantics, Sweet Filthy Boy by Christina Lauren, Love to Loathe You, which is a whole bunch of little like novellas that Ali Hazelwood wrote. We have my favorite book of all time, Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. And then I put Every Summer After It next to it because it's very similar to Love in Other Words. And then I have Book Lovers by Emily Henry and The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Okay, and then down here we have my little yellow stack. I love the yellow. It's my favorite stack, I think. So I have Most of All You by Mia Sheridan, Take a Hint, Danny Brown, The Kiss Quotient, One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is another one of my favorite books, The Young Honeymooners, and Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. And then my last stack is my pink stack. I love the stack. I think it's the cutest little thing ever. So I have Funny You Should Ask by Alyssa Sussman. That's how you say her name. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, and The Promises Meant to Keep by Monica Murphy, which I actually need to bring. I need to buy the other two books in this series because this I got sent to by Valentine PR, and I want to buy the other two books in the series because I think this is the last one in the series. So that is my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel this video is a little bit long. We'll see once I actually edit it. But I hope you enjoyed. A lot of these are on my physical TBR, but like I said in the beginning, if you want to see a video of all the books that I have in my physical TBR, I definitely will film that for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you want to, of course. You don't have to, but I obviously really appreciate it if you do. Also, thank you for 50 subscribers. I'm very grateful. I know a lot of people will be like, that's not the mean, but I'm so grateful that even 50 of you want to watch my videos. So like, thank you so much. Because like I said in my other video, I've always had a dream of creating a YouTube channel, and the fact that I'm actually doing it and people are watching it, I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye guys.